Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Michael got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you're following us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple, but wait. There's more. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to that page as well. Like that page. It's not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the bell. It's a little bell right next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, yay. Wait, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby. Where you been? Where you been? Listen, we have our own mobile app. So listen, wherever you get your apps from, you go there, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, Weeboats, Zeep, wherever you get them from, Zemskys, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. Take us with you on a go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. No. If you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. Do us a favor, download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your television, if you have a Roku television. Put it right there next to Netflix, Hulu, Max, Prime, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Stars. Man, Power Book 2. Woo, that guy is getting crazy, crazy, crazy. Man, crazy. So just put it there, download it, and you can watch this on a big screen. Hell, we're on a big screen, right, Vicky, now. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy now. If you want to follow me, just me personally online. You want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. Want to follow her on Instagram? Just follow her at Maya_Kai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we got a busy show for you today. But I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best Chicago sports, the morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat, man. Woo-wee. We chat's jumping already. Cornelius Squalls, what up? All the sports owners in the Mickey Ficky house. Be Smooth in the house. Good morning, Brian. How you doing? My Shawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. That's what I'm talking about. Jay Grizz in here. That's what I'm talking about. Jay Grizz. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's Jukayu off the dub? Jay off the dub. That's what we call him. Good stuff, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Lavette Lee is in the house. Good morning, Ma. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. Man, we're getting started early. At the bottom of the hour at 9:30, we have Jason Palmer is going to join us. We're going to talk Chicago Sky basketball with my man, Jason Palmer. He's been covering WNBA for 15 years, somewhere in there. Long time, man, long time. We're going to talk about some of the good stuff going on with our Chicago Sky. All right, then at 10 o'clock, Ron Luce from the On Tap Sports Net. We're going to talk a little Blackhawks hockey. Or I should say a lot of Blackhawks hockey. NHL draft just concluded. And let me tell you, there's a lot of the Blackhawks had 47 picks in there, so it seemed like they were picking every other selection. Holy she's got a couple good ones. Got a couple good young prospects. In addition to the bringing back one of their I don't want to say stars, but one of their fan favorites, a guy who was very, very productive in the 2015 Stanley Cup run. He's coming back. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more with Ron Luce. And then I got a little bit of a rant. I'm a little bit annoyed today. Jerry Reinsdorf. Yeah. Not happy with some of the stuff that is going on. Oh, snap. Black Diamond's back in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Plank, bear down, baby. Yes. Man, I'm telling you. More usual suspects are checking in. I told you, man. I told you. But you don't believe me, man. You don't believe me. Oh, man. Let's get started, baby, because we're at the bottom of the hour. Jason is going to join us. Let's get started, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Let's see. Where do we go? Which way do we go? Here we go. We'll start with these guys. These guys over there. I'm true of these guys right here. The Cubs fall to the Philadelphia Phillies 6-4 at Wrigley yesterday. Man, Hayden Wesneski having a rough one, man. He got the loss. He's 2-5 on the season. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 punch outs. Cody Bellinger, 2 for 4 with a double, his 14th. Also drove in his 35th run of the year. Mr. Outcast himself, Seiya Suzuki, 2 for 4 with a homer, his 11th, driving in his 32nd, 33rd, and 34th RBIs of the year. I don't even know what to say. But the Cubs will host the Phillies again today at Wrigley Field. First pitch is 7:05 Central. Zach Wheeler is on the bump for Philadelphia. He's 9-4 with a 2.73 ERA. Going up against Shota Imanaga, who's 7-2 with a 3.07 ERA for the Cubbies. Shota's got to show out. Shota has to show out. Shota has been showing that he's a little human lately, and he's got to do. They need him. They need him big time. Big time. They need an outstanding performance and just hope the bullpen doesn't blow it. They just hope the bullpen doesn't blow this particular lead. Well, the next top of the morning topic here. The White Sox ball to the Cleveland Guardians yesterday over at the Mistake by the Lake. That is Cleveland. They fall 7-6. Chris Flexen, he got no decision. He went 6 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned. A walk, 3 punch outs. Lou Bob, my man Lewis Robert, 2 for 4 with a homer, his 10th. Driving in. He also drove in 4 RBIs total yesterday. 16-7 15, 16, 17, and 18 RBIs of the season. Lenny Sosa was a man of the hour, tower of power, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, 6 and 7 doubles of the season, driving in his 12th run of the year. And Andrew Vaughn was 1 for 4, hitting his 11th homer, driving in his 40th RBI of the season. Sox are back in Cleveland tonight. First pitch is 5:40. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago or their flagship AM 1000. Eric Fetty's on the bump for the White Sox. He's 5-3 with a 3.23 ERA. Going up against Gavin Williams, who's making his season debut. Some good news from White Sox camp. Peep this. Peep this. Oh, goodness. Peep this. So, White Sox prospects, Colson Montgomery, shortstop, and left-handed pitcher Noah Schultz. Oh, come on. God bless it. There you go. You got fat fingers. Noah Schultz, Double-A pitcher, will participate in a futures game during the All-Star break. That's pretty good, I would say. You know, it's we need stuff like that because, you know, oh goodness gracious, great ball of fire. We need stuff like that. We've torn down this team. We're about to tear down this team. Okay, we're about to tear down this team, and it sucks. It really, really sucks. Right? What they're supposed to have done versus what they're doing now is embarrassing. As a White Sox fan, it's embarrassing. You know, I don't know what else to say. It's embarrassing. And I have a little bit of a rant that I'm going to go on because this could have been avoided. This whole situation. How many rebuilds is it in the last 7 years? That's 10 years. You follow me? How many rebuilds? You know, far too damn many is what I'm going to say. Far too many rebuilds. Okay? It's unacceptable for what they're doing. Unacceptable for a big market, the third largest market in the country. You want to? They want to act like we're Kansas City. Or we're Montreal. Back in the day when Montreal had a team. Or Tampa. Come on, man. You know, it's embarrassing. It's out and out embarrassing. You know, I don't know. It's, you know, we sit there and we want our teams to do well. We're praying for them to do well. We support them. And what do? This type of nonsense? Come on, man. Definitely not cool. Not cool at all. And I'm not happy about it. And I know White Sox fans aren't happy about it either. And if you didn't hear, this is, I say this falls on Jerry. Did I put that in there? Yeah. Former White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson, designated for assignment. He's designated for assignment, which means they cut him. So his baseball career is hanging on by a thread. Hopefully he gets picked up by another team. But that was the purpose of this season, was to kind of rebuild his value, so to speak. He signed a one-year deal with Miami. And for me, this falls flat in the lap, It calls directly in the lap of Reinsdorf. All right. You know, back a few years ago, they had Ricky's boys don't quit. Ricky boys don't quit. Okay, and they decided to go a different route with Ricky. All right? I know Ricky doesn't ever want to see a step foot in Chicago again. He doesn't even want a layover or pit. He got screwed over by the Cubs. He got screwed over by the Sox. But at that particular point, they brought in Tony La Russa. And that's where it all happened. It seemed like they were doing too much. TA, they're the young, exciting bunch of baseball players, brash, unapologetic, cocky, and improving by the day. Improving by the day. And it seemed like bringing in Tony, and there was a lot of talk about, the culture's going to clash. Tony's old school. These guys are new school. And I think they both overcompensated trying to respect each other, trying to be cool, trying to be down with each other. Is that 213 one? No, which one? Let's see. This one, no, that's Tim one, so it's the one above it. Yeah. Wow. Thanks, Steve-O. Here's a 2021 in the ALDS, game 1. Okay. This is the lineup from literally 3 years ago. Tim Anderson, now he's unemployed. Yon Moncada, hurt. Jose Abreu, unemployed. Yasmani Grandal, washed up. Luis Robert, only one who's worth a damn. Eloy Jimenez, hurt. Even though he's playing, he's still hurt and he sucks. Gavin Sheets doesn't really move the needle for anybody. Adam Engel, out of baseball. Larry Garcia is in AAA. And here's why I put this on Reinsdorf. You had a chance to have a group of young, extremely talented ball players. To be managed by a great manager by the name of Ozzie Guillen. But instead, you meddled in affairs, again showing that you got no business meddling in affairs, even though you own the team. You have no business meddling in affairs because you screw shit up. You jack everything up. And here's why Ozzie would have been the best choice. One, he gains automatic respect, immediate respect. Why? He's got 2 World Series rings. One with the Marlins as the third base coach. One in his home organization, the Chicago White Sox, as their manager. So he has gravitas and automatic respect from jump. 2, Ozzie would let these guys play, but I'll tell you what, Ozzie would have had these guys fundamentally sound. Fundamentally sound. They've been working on things in spring training. If you refuse to get a runner over, a runner from second to third, because you won't hit the ball to the right side, he'll sit your ass. He had no problem calling you out in the media. He had no problem calling you out in the face, personally. And that's what some of these guys needed. They needed some tough love. Third, he speaks obviously perfect Spanish, seeing he's from Venezuela. So there's nothing lost in translation. So the relationship that he would have with Luis Robert, with Eloy, with Yo-Yo, they have a mentor, a father figure to look up to in Ozzy. And the thing that I love about it is he's not going to favor them. He's not going to kiss their ass because Yo-Yo was the number one prospect coming up, number one minor league prospect, and Eloy was another prospect, and Lewis Robert was a huge prospect. Ozzy wasn't going to kiss their ass at all. Ozzy was going to work them. Ozzy was going to keep them humble. He was going to put them in check when they needed to be put in check. Okay, the White Sox did whatever they wanted under Tony because he was asleep many times in the dugout. There's the fun. If you just listen to Ozzy the way he talks, the way he knows baseball, that's all he knows. He's told you, Ozzy Jr.'s been out here plenty of times. He's told you, Ozzy didn't graduate high school. He left Venezuela at 14, 15 years old, 16 years old to come here to play baseball. And that's all he knows. And he's great at it. He's great at it. So this falls in the category because you didn't want Ozzy as your manager because Ozzy wouldn't do what you want. Ozzy would want to put together the lineup. He wouldn't allow the GM to do it because it's not a GM's job to put the lineup together. It's the manager's job. But Ozzy's too much of a firecracker. He's too much of a wild card. No, you know what he is? Ozzy's a winner is what he is. And he will not be controlled by anybody, and that's what they didn't like. That's what they didn't like, that he could not be controlled. But instead, and I'll tell you what, Ozzy would have talked to some of these players. He talked to Bobby Jenks about their personal issues. I know Tim Anderson had some personal issues. Okay, we all know it. All right, his best friend, the godfather of his daughter, was murdered back in Tuscaloosa. That affected him. Then he had an extramarital affair that resulted in the birth of a child. That affected him. Ozzy would have helped him deal with a lot of these things. Tim looked like he had no guidance. And Ozzy would have been there as a manager, but also as a father figure for Tim. I'm telling you, he did a lot of stuff with Bobby Jenks that a lot of people don't know about. But his players could always come talk to him. And if you don't think that these players would have come to him, English or Spanish or whoever, you're crazy. Because Ozzy played the game, and Ozzy's not that far removed from the game. But you wanted to save money. You wanted to have a manager that you could control. You wanted a manager that you could control, and that's the problem. Which means you didn't give a damn about these guys, these players as people. They're just commodities to you. And I'm not saying, poor Tim Anderson. Yeah, he's got millions. He's fine. But it's not about the money. It's about wasted talent. It's about wasted talent. And if you cared about your players, don't show me the loyalty to them when players are good. Show me when guys are having a rough time. When guys need help. Paul Konerko didn't need help. Frank Thomas didn't need help. Tim Anderson needed help. He needed somebody to sit his ass down and say, hey, grow up. You cannot let what happened on the off the field affect your on-field performance. Ozzy would have had him in check. Ozzy, and I'm telling you, the respect that Ozzy garners, unparalleled. So this could have been a whole different story had you hired Ozzy after you let Ricky go. But you chose not to because you wanted a puppet. And Ozzy's nobody's puppet. And I think this whole thing with Tim Anderson could have been avoided. I think Tim Anderson is still on the south side as a shortstop. And you don't think Ozzy would have got on him about his errant throws, right? His mental lapses at times? You're damn right he would have. Because Ozzy's about the fundamentals. Ozzy wasn't a big-time, huge player, but you know what he was? Fundamentally sound. He's only a Gold Glove winner. It's not bad. But he plays fundamentally sound baseball where you don't hurt yourself. But you didn't want that. You didn't want that because he wouldn't let you put the lineup together. Rick Hahn would not have been putting that lineup together. It's Ozzy. He's opinionated, he's unapologetic, and you didn't want him because he's too strong-willed, which is why you didn't interview Bruce Bochy, which is why you didn't interview Joe Girardi, which is why you didn't interview Joe Madden. You didn't interview anybody. You gave a nobody a job, a guy who got passed over in his own organization 2-3 times to be a manager, but you go get him so you can control him. And this is what you got. You're trying to fight off the worst record in Major League Baseball, and look at all the players that you had that because, and if you don't, and I'm telling you, people don't understand how important coaching is. Managing, coaching, whatever you want to say. People don't understand how important that is. And you're seeing it now with the White Sox. Look at all the players that have gone. I mean, Jose, he might be 45 years old. We don't know. He could damn well be. But this falls on Reinsdorf. A huge part of it falls on Reinsdorf because you want to maintain control. You didn't want a World Series manager because he's a firecracker. Because he's a wild card, because you don't know what he's going to say. You might not know what he's going to say, but you know what he's going to do. He's going to win you some games, and he's going to have everybody in check. So there will be no happier day for me in my life than when that joker sells this team. Or put it this way, when he is no longer in charge of that team. Whether God says, hey, come home with me, or he decides, or says, hey, you know what, you need to just step away from this thing. As soon as he's gone, I will be a much happier White Sox fan, as will White Sox Nation. I'm not going to get started with the Bulls, but we're just talking White Sox. And my blood pressure is going to go through the roof like crazy. But this one's big part is on you, Reinsdorf. Big part of this Tim Anderson situation is on you. You could have had a leader in that locker room with Ozzy, in the clubhouse, with Ozzy, but you chose not to. You chose not to. We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, got a little bit of good news. The Sky, baby. Sky. A lot of good news coming from my man Jason Palmer is going to join us on the other side. We're going to talk Sky basketball, some of the good stuff that's happened. Very happy for these young ladies. I want them to win more, but nonetheless, I mean, we'll get there. So don't go anywhere, folks. Jason Palmer up next. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate.
1,000 career points Friday against the Sun. That drive and layup balls for Kennedy Carter.
Thought about retiring last season. We sure are glad that you didn't here in Atlanta.
Off the roll, there's the first bucket for Angel Reese. Company that Angel Reese finds herself in, not midway through her rookie season. The seal and the score, that time from the veteran Isabel.
A lot better than that from the free throw line.
Always gives you an uneasy feeling if you're a coach. The pull-up falls and one diamond to Shields. Took the contact in flight from Jones.
Gassed.
Yeah. Thought about the transition three and said Evans can't leave her open. She rains down another one, and the Sky retake the lead.
They know they need her energy.
Great chiseling over the screen on Carter, who finds the Shields, who finds the three in the corner, and we're tied again.
Woo-wee! I love it, baby. Those video courtesy of the Hue or CBS Sports. Those are our girls. The Chicago Sky yesterday with a big 85-77 victory over the ATL Dream. It was all a dream. Girls, big game yesterday. And one of the things that I didn't get to talk about on the top of the morning because I was in that rant about Reinsdorf. A couple of things. Caitlin Clark, our girl, collected her 11th consecutive double-double. She is now as the new record. I'm so proud of her. Okay, a lot of, and here's why. You know, she got a lot of flack. Her game's not going to translate this and this. She's got really no real post move, no this. She's got heart. You know what she's got? She's got grit. All right, you can tell people who grow up a certain way. Okay, she grew up a certain way in the streets of Baltimore. Okay, just like you get, you know, her mentality is that of like the Derrick Rose. All right, she's a go-getter. She's going to get it done, period. She got it done at LSU, winning a chip. She's getting it done here. New WNBA record, 11 consecutive double-doubles. And then yesterday, bam, she was named an All-Star. I cannot tell you how proud I am of her. And what she's accomplished, what she's come through, what she's dealt with. A great, great, great honor for Angel Reese. It was 12 and 19 yesterday. 19 freaking rebounds. 19. That's what I'm talking about. Unapologetically, she's unapologetically her. She don't give a damn if you like it or not. And that I respect. We're going to bring in my man and talk more Chicago Sky basketball because they are a hot topic. They are hot. People are loving them. People want to go see them. I need a few more wins. But nonetheless, they're exciting. Man, my man, you can find him on Twitter at Jay Coyden. Guys, just welcome back. Shawn and Maya, Jason Palmer. Jay, what up, Papa? How are you?
Woo, what's up, Shawn? How you doing, man?
I am doing well.
Happy July 4th to you as we get ready to start blowing up the country with fireworks tonight all over the place. One of my favorite holidays, just go out and drink beer and blow stuff up. That's my kind of holiday. So I got to apologize in advance to all your viewers out there. If you're watching me, I was at the eye doctor this morning when Shawn texted me and I said, yeah, I'll be there, no problem. But I forgot when you go to the eye doctor that they dilate your eyes. So I'm looking like Justin Timberlake right now. So I haven't been drinking. I'm drinking coffee, y'all. Straight up, I'm drinking coffee. I've not been drinking. My eyes are dilated because I went to the eye doctor. So I made it home safely. No cops pulled me over. I can barely see you. Somebody wrote something. Somebody said, sup, Jay? Is that Malcolm?
No, it's Michonne Wells.
Michonne, okay. I can't read. I can barely see Sean's face.
So I'll read him. And Brian Hendricks said, good morning. Hey, Jason, good morning.
Okay.
Patty Lara said, morning, Jason. Great to see you.
Yes. I can't see a damn thing. So hello to all of you. Thank you very much. And hopefully my eyes will. I decided not to play golf today because I knew I had to go to the eye doctor, but it may have helped my golf game. I don't know, but I can't see a damn thing right now. So we can definitely talk about Sky, whatever you want to talk about. Just understand my eyes are gonna be looking crazy. All right, what you got for me, Shawn?
Yeah, so let's talk about these girls. They're Angel Reese with the All-Star nod. I'm really, really happy for her. And people talked about her game, and one of the reasons I'm really, really, really excited and happy for her is that you got to realize within 1 month, Jay, she went from Final Four to the draft to training camp within 4 weeks. No off season, no training, no nothing. And we all know at the end of a season, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, hockey, it doesn't matter. You're depleted. Because you don't lift, you try to lift to maintain, but it's your strength and a lot of your things are gone. Your explosiveness, a lot of things are gone. And then within 4 weeks after that, she's back in training camp, and a week or so after that, she's in preseason games. So she had and the whole rookie class had no off season, and she's doing this without a full off season. Jason, what the hell is this girl going to do when she gets a full off season and gets stronger?
Yeah, you make a great point. I think that's one of the several unique factors about the WNBA is that the new drafted players, you basically not getting no rest for the weary. If your team didn't go far in the NCAA tournament, you'll get a little bit extra time. You may get maybe close to 6 weeks before you have to get out there and play. But it's been very impressive what Angel Reese herself has done to go deep into the college playoffs. Then, okay, right after that, you got to get drafted, okay? You're starting a new job. The one thing I don't think a lot of people understand, and this is with all professional sports, but especially the WNBA, they got to go to a whole new city and start over. I don't know how it was for you, Shawn, but when you graduate from college and then you got to start that job, and sometimes that job isn't in the same city you grew up in, you got to start all over. You got to find a place to live. You got to find a place to go. Right. You got a place to go grocery shopping. A lot of them don't even have a car yet. I mean, you're starting from scratch. So it's just the life transition part that I don't think a lot of sports fans understand that the WNBA players have to go through immediately. And the fact that Angel has been able to transition pretty well in not just on the court, but her social life and just life in general. She's a spokesperson for a lot of different products as well. She's got a lot going on. And then the controversies that have surrounded her, some of which she's brought on herself, some just the political climate that we live in 2024. She's been able to weather that storm. And at least when it comes to basketball, she's been able to focus and do what she can do for this team. Her strength has always been in rebounding. Her post play is going to get better. The more she learns the league and she gets the coaching, and she's going to have to develop a little bit more of an outside shot. But I think what she's done, they've only played 18 games, I want to say, and the WNBA season is only 42. So, I think she's done well for her first 18 games in the league, starting over in a brand new city. And let's be honest, Chicago ain't an easy city. I mean, how we are, how we get down. And, I think last time I was on, I said I really needed the Sky to take advantage of just the situation with Chicago sports. At that time, we knew the Bulls wasn't going to do nothing. The Blackhawks are rebuilding. I knew the White Sox were going to do what they would do. I'm a little surprised with what the Cubs have done. I thought they'd be a little bit better. But I said the Sky have actually an opportunity here to capture everyone's attention in Chicago because we ain't trying to pay none of these other teams no attention. So I said then they got up until Bears training camp to really make an identity, to really get a footprint in the city. And I think they've done very well with that, Shawn. I think that the Sky have done very well with that. They have benefited by publicizing Angel a lot. And Kennedy Carter doesn't get enough credit.
Freaking stud.
While yes, Angel has done well, and Angel's going to get all the hype, Kennedy Carter is MVP on that team. Kennedy Carter was actually an all-star. She's actually an all-star the way she's been playing, but we all know that gets real political. But Kennedy Carter, without them, without her, I don't know if the Sky have won as many of the games as they have. Just in my evaluation of watching them, Carter has really been the offensive threat on that team. So much so that they had to move Dana Evans to coming off the bench. And I think Coach Witherspoon deserves some credit too, in that she wasn't afraid to make some moves, some bold moves. Dana Evans got a big extension last year. They wanted her to be the starting point guard of the future after.
And you were really high on her last year. Remember, we talked about her.
Yeah, I really was. And I think Dana is still trying to find her way with the Sky, and that's weird because this is like her 4th or 5th year. You would think that she would have a good foothold in it now. And I was really surprised she didn't take that starting point guard role and just roll with it. But what I will say, and this is on first-year general manager Jeff, my cousin Lance has said it too. The Sky needs some shooters, man. That's their biggest problem, Shawn. They've never replaced Quigley. They've never replaced it. They haven't found a replacement. Now, I think the young lady that they drafted,
Brenna Maxwell.
Yeah, I think
they cut her.
That was supposed to be the person, but she got injured, and they had to cut her. And this is where I try to educate people on the WNBA rules. They don't have as many roster spots as the NBA. You only get 12, and when you get injured, and they couldn't hold that spot. They couldn't do it. They wanted to. I know they did. I talked to them. But they were like, well, what can we do? We don't know how long she's going to be out. What are we supposed to do between that time? So, I think that's kind of hurt them. But I do think they got to get some shooters, man. And the Elizabeth Williams injury, her being out for the season, isn't helping. No. But I do think they need some shooting help. But in terms of Angel's play, Angel has surpassed my expectations.
Mine too.
I think she's calmed down a lot too in some of the games. That was my biggest concern with her coming out of LSU. I was like, man, that yelling at the referee stuff ain't gonna cut it when you get to the next level, because you're a rookie. You're gonna keep debating all these calls. They're gonna start teeing your ass up. And so, I think her getting teed up a few times, and Coach Witherspoon talking to her like, yo, you making yourself a bigger target. You making yourself a big target.
Jay, you stole my thunder, because I was going to ask you how much of a role did Teresa Witherspoon have, because of the fact that, one, we know she was a dog.
Yeah.
Defensive, just her mentality as well. Look, she came from Kim Mulkey, all right, as well. Mm-hmm. Angel Reese came. So you're dealing with two people from the same coach.
Yeah.
And that was going to be my next question. How much do you think that she said, hey, look, you can't be doing this nonsense. You can't be barking at officials. You can't be, you know what I mean? Like, I need you to play, and I can't have you kicked out because you're mad because you didn't get a call. Roll the hell up. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think talk about how good Teaspoon is for this team. Her mentality and everything that goes along with it.
So let's talk about that, and I'll just bring it straight out with you. What happened was with the incident when Kennedy Carter got body checked, or when she body checked Caitlin.
She hipped her. Whatever
we want to call it.
Caitlin's like, oh, come on, Caitlin, stop being LeBron.
Angel jumped off the bench to celebrate it, and then there was this whole big thing, and then the Sky didn't make Angel available to the press that game, which was another bad move.
Yeah.
What happened basically and this is why I say the press is very important in all things in life. The press went in on the Sky. The press went in on the Sky real hard about that. Like, how are you not going to make Angel available on the game when she's playing Caitlin Carr just because y'all lost? And the Sky got fined for that.
Yes, they did.
You know, they got fined for that. And it was a failure on the part of the Sky. It was a failure on part of Kennedy Carter for not having discipline. It was Angel's fault for jumping up off the bench. So I think they had a come to Jesus moment after that as an organization and said, hey, we got to do better than this. And I know Witherspoon talked to Reese and basically was like, yo, I need you in the game. Like, I can't have you getting all these texts, because if you start getting this reputation and you turn into the Draymond of the league, that's how they going to treat you.
Yeah.
That's how they going to treat you. And, you know, I'm a sports official. I'm telling you, once you get a reputation, it's not that I'm going to pick on you, but I'm going to notice you more. I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt on stuff because your reputation precedes you. So I think the organization had a come to Jesus moment with not just the players, but they had to have a come to Jesus moment with the media, with the Chicago media, because we were on their ass. Annie from the Sun-Times was on their ass, the guy from the Trib, because we were like, look, especially me, I've covered this guy for 19 years. 19 years. And I'm like, how are you going to like not make Angel Reese available when we all here on one of the biggest games? So I think the organization had some maturing to do. I know Angel, being a rookie, I tell everybody, people were kind of going in on, and I gave her some grief for some of the stuff. I'm like, even a regular job, you get a 90-day probation period. God damn, why y'all going in on a girl like this? It's 90. It ain't even been 90 days yet, Shawn. And, so I think, the organization is taking some steps. Witherspoon is really the rudder, I would say, that's guiding that ship. She's taking control of it, and she's doing a great job. I think she's made some mistakes, too, with some of her rotation fits. Remember, this is her first head coaching job. So you got a new GM, you got a new coach, you got your most high-profile player as a rookie. Everybody's new at this. Everybody's within a 90-day probation period. So I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And I think the fans are kind of understanding of that. And the record is speaking to how far they really do need to go. But, yes, Witherspoon has played a key role. She's talked to Dana Evans about when she had to move her out of the starting lineup. Dana is actually the team's best spot-up shooter, which – you don't really want a person who's a point guard to be in that role, but that's just the situation they're in. And I think Dana's accepted it. She came off the bench yesterday with a big 16 points to get the win over the Dream. So, I like that they're making adjustments, that they're learning from their mistakes and trying not to repeat them and put themselves in a better position. And I just want to see them finish out the season very strong. We knew this was not going to be a championship caliber team. Doubt that they would make the playoffs, but we just want to see the progress, and then you're going to add stuff to it, in the years to come. But Witherspoon, I think that was a great hire.
I do too, guys. We're joined by Jason Palmer, who's covered the Sky, and we're talking Sky basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Talk to me about Camilla. Back, she had double digits rebounds yesterday. She had 10 boards. Just love her. But what does she need to do moving forward? I personally think, Jay, I think she needs to lose a little weight and get in better shape. Because she doesn't have a problem getting up and down the court, but she lumbers up and down the court. All right. And it's not that she's slow, or she goes up the same pace every time. So it's not like she's so for me, I'm like, okay, she just needs to lose a little, she needs to change her body composition.
Yeah.
But she can't do it. She can't do it from when there's no off season, right? So that was a big thing. And they're flying around, they're eating good dinners and everything, and then they got to go to training camp. So, but what else do you think this girl needs to do? Because she wasn't joking when she said she knows Angel can rebound. She knows damn well she can rebound. Those two girls in shape, man, that's gonna be a formidable duo. That's gonna be like Ewing and Cartwright back in the Knicks days.
Right.
What do you think she needs to do for next season?
So I think you kind of answered your question. I think Cardoso needs time. I think she needs time. I think that's the thing that we don't give people enough in the world today. Time. We look at their potential and say, okay, this is where they should be right now.
Right.
Don't work like that. They got to grow. You know, when you plant the plant, you plant the seed, you water it, you fertilize it, you get it to sunlight, then it grows. But it takes time to grow. It ain't going to grow instantly, no matter how much sunlight, water, and fertilizer and turning the dirt over that you do. I think the other thing, Cardosa, you know, she did suffer a setback. Remember, she got injured. So she got injured early in training camp. So she missed some training camp. She missed the second preseason game, and then she missed some portions of the start of the regular season. And just like Angel, she is coming off of a deep run in the NCAA tournament where she got all the way to the championship. So she hadn't had really time to recover, which for me personally, I'm surprised more rookies like that don't get injured. We saw what happened to Brink out in LA.
Yeah,
and that broke my heart to see what happened to her. You know, it's about how much can you push a rookie who are now coming up to a more physical level of play after a long college season. I think that's the drawback of the WNBA. I think with Cardosa, she needs a good offseason. I do agree with you. Perhaps she could probably, I'm not going to say necessarily lose weight, but she needs to be in better shape condition-wise. She also needs to get stronger.
Yeah, change her body composition.
Change her body composition.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the thing I like about Cardosa, I love talking to her. That's my homegirl for real because, you know, she's from Brazil and she's a volleyball player who then switched over to basketball. Anybody know anything about Brazil know that volleyball, that's their sport. Okay. Yeah. You know, they like basketball, but
and
volleyball.
They like to flaunt it too.
That's right. Volleyball, and you know, they dominate in beach volleyball. Their men's team is good, their women's team. That's why I love watching the Olympics. I love watching Brazil in the Olympics. So she knows I'm a volleyball rep. So me and her are vibing all the time. We talk volleyball more than basketball.
Really? That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. But I think with her, she needs time. I think she's got to get some chemistry with her teammates. I'd love to see the Sky run a little bit more high-low posts using Angel and Camilla a little bit more. And I think her defense is sound, the block shots ability. You need a rim protector. She's got a huge upside. But I think for her, it's just time. I'm like you. I want to see them next year, especially once you get a couple of shooters out there. Because right now, everybody can collapse down on her. So it's making it harder for her to do her business down there in the post. But I agree. Once she gets a little bit stronger, learns a little bit more moves, understands the league a little bit more, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. You know, I think that's the thing with all rookies. We gotta understand they're traveling to new cities that they've never been to and arenas they've never been to. They're doing more media than they do in college. It's a lot. So Cardosa and Reese are going to be a hell of a tandem, and the Sky are very lucky.
Especially when because they got championship pedigree, both of them. Right? Yeah. They just need an off season, one, to let their body recover, but two, to get stronger. Because it ain't stopped Angel Reese. Angel Reese is in there, boy. She's drawing and ones like a son of a gun, and I'm like, that's that grit, all right? That's that mentality that I love. That most. That's one of the biggest reasons Chicago loves her. Because she's down and dirty in the post. With some girls, a lot of times girls are 6'4" and taller than her, bigger than her, stronger than her. But it doesn't matter. She's going in there getting rebounds. She's going in there getting and one. She's going in, you know what I'm saying? She's going in there blocking shots. That's the thing that one of the and let's be honest, she's easy on the ice. She's a very beautiful young lady. So you see that and that grit, and that's what Chicago's know. We're a hardworking city. You get people, you get a girl who comes in or a player comes in and they're busting their ass like that. That's why we love Rodman so much. He didn't care about him marrying himself and the crazy colored hair. You know why? Because he's out there getting rebounds, 15, 16 rebounds a night, annoying the hell out of Shaq and all everybody else and getting them texts. All right? Because he was doing all the dirty work. Angel's doing all the dirty work, and she's getting points, and she's getting rewarded for it. And I think that's why her and Chicago are a perfect fit. I love it.
Yeah. And again, Shawn, I just think, you know, they're going to have to figure out what they want to do with Mabry, just building the chemistry around who's going to be their core. We know Cardosa, we know Angel. Can Evans still be a part of this? Kennedy Carter, I think, has proven herself now as a keeper.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to build that core. Who's going to be your core starting five moving forward? But one of those people needs to be a shooter, and that's the biggest thing that they're missing right now. But like I said, give them time. Right now, we gotta watch them. We ain't got nothing else to watch in this damn city, So let's just watch them. One quick note on the All-Star game, the WNBA All-Star game this year. So it's gonna be a little bit different this year because this is also an Olympic year. So it's gonna be the Team USA against the WNBA All-Stars. So obviously there are gonna be people on Team USA who normally would be WNBA All-Stars. All right, okay, Kelsey Plum, Brittany Griner and all them. So it's an exhibition game anyway, but the role this time is to prep Team USA for the Olympics. That is the major objective of all these exhibition games, including the WNBA All-Star game. How I think it benefits the Sky is Angel Reese will now see what it's like to go up against the best of the best.
Yeah.
The best, and I'll be honest, the best of the best in the world, because the women's team is probably going to dominate and win the gold medal again.
Why would you say that, Jason? They've only won 7 in a row. Only the last 7 gold medals. So.
Yeah, I pretty much think we're going to do that again. So I think that's what the prep is going to be, really for her and how she will benefit. But the WNBA All-Star game, I'm sure it's going to get some great ratings. The ratings continue to increase. The WNBA continues to get more sponsorship, which I know is a big thing for you. You've always talked about that. I'm constantly getting emails from the Sky. Oh, we got a new sponsor this. We got a new sponsor that. That's what it's about. It's about people buying the stuff. And again, Shawn, I say this as a person who covered this league for 19 years, that this stuff should have been done 15 years ago. And the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese effect has forced the WNBA to do some things that they hadn't been doing in the past. And I don't care if it was before people weren't going there. There was still a lot of really bad business decisions the WNBA was making. And I think they've now been put on the hot seat, and the NBA as well, because they subsidize the WNBA.
Right.
And they're now starting to make more business decisions. Has nothing to do with the players, just simple marketing strategies that they were not doing. And now I'm starting to see them do that, and we're starting to see the benefits of it. And you just have to continue to grow the game and build up on that momentum, and just, again, just don't do stupid stuff.
And you know what, Jason? And you know what? And that's why I was mad that Caitlin Clark wasn't on the Olympic team. And people were saying, oh, she didn't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. I said, I get it. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is this. You want the momentum. I'm like, Christian Laettner didn't deserve to be on a dream team.
Hell no.
Okay?
That was Shaq's spot.
Exactly. And then people say, well, she's only going to play 5 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute. This women's team has won the last 7 gold medals. Okay? The starters aren't playing the whole game, which means Caitlin Clark is going to be in there. Caitlin Clark's jersey from Iowa sold out. Caitlin Clark's jersey from the Fever sold out the night she was drafted. Can you imagine what her Olympic jersey is going to sell? You know what I mean? It's unfortunately politics play at this level. Yeah. Politics is huge. It's not about who deserves it, who's this. It's about politics, and it's about making money. If you want to make money and the WNBA, now you got her overseas hitting threes from the logo, hitting threes in people's faces. Now you open her to the international game, not just the national game. And I get it. She might not be one of the best 12 on the Olympic team. I get it, but she's the most popular. Can most people name the starting 5 of the Olympic team? Nope. But everyone knows who the hell Caitlin Clark is, and that's why you got to capitalize, and that's where they drop the ball. It's not about talent. At that level, it's politics. Politics is amount, and I think they dropped the ball. But don't forget that now you're asking her to go play more games without a break because I don't know. I just think they dropped the ball because I would have loved to have seen her drop hit a couple of half court threes, or step over half court threes with Olympic jersey on, and people are going to go nuts over her.
Well, I mean, Shawn, let's keep it real. They're going to be playing like Lithuania. So, I mean, they're going to win by 80. So, what's the point? I agree with you. And here was my point on it, that I thought Diana Taurasi shouldn't have been on this team. This is her sixth.
Because she's 60?
She's right. She's 42 years old. This is her sixth Olympics. Girl, you've been there. And we don't really need you to win. You put Caitlin Clark on that team. You remove Diana Taurasi. You let Clark do that. You're going to build up even more goodwill for the sport around the world. Not just in the United States, but around the world. You put her on the team. Now, and here's my drop the mic on that comment. Because
Create Host, I got another guy behind you.
Because people were complaining that Bronny James got drafted. We know that was a business decision. Look what the jerseys are doing for the Lakers. And the same people who said, well, they should do it because they're going to sell that, were the same people saying Clark don't deserve to be on the team. Make up your damn minds. Make up your damn minds. That's all I got to say to people. All right, Shawn. Thanks, man.
Hey, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Soon.
All right, talk to you soon.
Guys, that's Jason Palmer, one of the hosts of What's Up, Cuz. Man, talking Sky basketball. Man, he was on point. When you brought up Bronny James, that was on point. Everyone was like, ooh, never mind. Yeah, damn right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. And the other side of the break, my man Ron Luce is waiting. And we're going to talk we're going to talk a lot of Blackhawk hockey. We have to go through all 47 draft picks that they had. It's going to be a minute. All right? So there, folks. Keep it locked right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
6 for his last 12 with 2 doubles and a homer.
Andrew Vaughn lifts it high in the air to left center. Back at the wall. A monster shot for Andrew Vaughn. He had a red-hot June and July getting off to a good start. White Sox take a 1-0 lead here in the first.
And Andrew Vaughn is cooking.
Bottom of the first.
3-2 coming. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a fastball. First strikeout for Flexen.
The order will turn over to Luis Robert Jr.
And Robert hits a deep drive left field, and it is gone. I think it got over that yellow line. It's a 2-run homer. The ball actually came back onto the warning track, but I think it hit a railing that is actually beyond the barrier, that high left field wall. It's 3-3.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. And Lewis Roberts going to not throw the ball home on the final out with the runner on. It's because of you, Reinsdorf. All you had to do was hire Ozzy. He'd have kept that whole bunch in check. Yeah. I know there's a runner on third. It's kind of deep, so I won't even throw home. I know we lose the game, but it's all right. I wouldn't have got him anyway. You got to laugh because otherwise my blood pressure would be through the roof. My next guest is a good friend of the program, and man, we got a lot to talk. The NHL draft was last week. Free agency has started. We have quite signings to talk, and man, you can find he's with On Tap Sportsnet. You can find him on Twitter at Loose on Tap. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Ron Loose. Ron, what's up, Papa? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Shawn. I'm doing well. How are you? Well, I'm doing well outside of baseball because just like you, my team is also a dumpster fire as well. So we can be in the same boat and cry together over Chicago baseball.
Oh my God, it is unbelievable. What the hell's going on with both sides of town? Like, so at least I get to tease Cub fans. I'm like, you were supposed to be good.
We were supposed to be. I think that's what makes it worse, if I'm being brutally honest. It's like there was expectation behind the Cubs. At least everybody knew going in that like the Sox weren't going to be good this year. So at least you didn't have to have these high expectations. It's bad, man. It's absolutely bad.
It really is. It really, really is. So let's not talk about the horrible stuff. Let's talk about the Blackhawks draft. Very, 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 very good draft. We'll be on until about 3:00 when we go through all 72 picks that they had. But let's talk about their first overall pick. How happy were you with their first overall pick, number 2 overall?
I like the Artem Levshinov pick. I feel like I was probably one of the few people early on that was like, I think they're going to go defense because at the end of the day, it's a lot easier to acquire a scoring winger than it is to develop a franchise defenseman. That's just the nature of the beast. That being said, though, I liked Kyle Davidson's process. I liked his aggressiveness. Right, there was the reports he tried to trade up back to number 4 to go get Demidov as well and appease everybody. But them getting Levshinov, I think it's a good pick. He's a guy that's probably not going to help this team this year, and that's completely okay. I think that's the best case scenario for him is just to continue developing. But when you hear the team saying that Levshinov is behind the curve of where he probably should be, and he's still good enough to be the number 2 pick in the draft, that just shows what kind of upside he has as a player long term. So he's only 18 years old. He's got plenty of time to develop into his own skin. I think he's going to be a pillar of this franchise for years to come. But this year, it'll be either turning pro and going down to Rockford and working every single day as a member of the Ice Hogs, or it'll be going back to Michigan State for another year and then potentially signing at the end of the season, very similar to what like Frank Nazar and Landon Slaggert did a year ago. So, but overall, I like the pick. He's big. He skates well. He has some offense. I mean, at the end of the day, he is really what you want in a complete two-way defenseman in terms of the prototype if you're looking for those type of guys in the draft.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. He's 18 years old. And imagine 5 years. A lot can happen at hell. The Blackhawks won, well, that was 6 seasons, but still, almost 3 cups in 5 years. All right? The kid will only be 23 years old. Yeah. Still not even in his prime. Not even in his prime. And so he has a lot to do, and I like that a lot, and that's great. We're starting to see a lot of youth moving with a couple of teams. All right, with the team over on Madison, thank God. It only took you. Let's get younger and more athletic and sign Dwayne Wade. That's a whole nother story. I digress. But I like the youth. All right, I like the youth, and then they go and they get a guy who's probably in his prime, of 2015 Stanley Cup winner, and Teuvo Teravainen. I was very happy to talk about that free agent signing that reunites him with the fans at the Madhouse.
Yeah, I think Teravainen, he checks a lot of boxes in terms of what I think the Blackhawks organization was looking to do with this free agency period. One being, surely everybody knows the fans are going to love it, right? You bring back a former face of the golden era of Blackhawks hockey, a guy that I think in hindsight, a lot of fans say that he should have never been dealt and that the Hawks should have made the Bickle contract work, even though he ended up, they could have thrown him on LTIR if he was truly that injured and sick instead of trying to just, dispose of his contract on Carolina. At the end of the day, I always call him the Sweet Prince of Blackhawks hockey. So the Sweet Prince is back in Chicago. But you know what? In terms of the fit, in terms of the player that he is, this fit makes so much sense. And you saw so many people during the draft process highlighted that he played next to a scoring center in Sebastian Aho down in Carolina. and they had a lot of success together. Tavo, over most of his career, was largely a setup man. If you look at the numbers, a lot more assists than goals. But he's coming off a career year in goal scoring. He had 25 goals last year. That's his career high. So I think he's the perfect guy to pair next to Connor Bedard because of his familiarity playing with a scoring center in the past. I know a lot of people are hoping that, Connor Bedard's going to be this scorer to the same level as a McDavid. I think Connor Bedard's going to be more so a scorer to the same level as Ovechkin, because that's just his type of game. He's more of a pure shooter than he is a playmaker. He can still obviously make plays, but the shot is his number one asset. So getting a guy that can set him up and get him the puck on his stick in opportunities to shoot, that's going to be critical for Connor Bedard's development. And that was another big thing that a lot of these moves did. I've seen a lot of negativity about the moves made, and Tavo being a part of this, obviously. But sure, yeah, you're not playing the kids this year necessarily in the NHL. You're playing some more veterans. But it's the veterans that are here with the kids already here, the Vlasics, the Korchinskis, the Bedards, to get them to take that next step forward. And that's what's going to be critical. And Teuvo Teravainen does that with Connor Bedard. I fully expect 86 and 98 to be on the same line come opening night in Utah when they kick off the season on October 8th.
I do too. And I think it's a great thing to you're basically they're grooming the youngsters to be pros, to take the next step. And I think that's a great thing because, Chicago hockey, when good, man, it really turns this city on its ear. When we saw it for a 7-8 year period where it was just, it was unbelievable. And the people out of the woodworks, it brought so many people together, people who didn't watch hockey on a consistent basis. It brought 100%. More eyes to that, which I thought was awesome. And now we're a little spoiled. Now we're like, you know what? I want hockey. I want to go into June. All right, not necessarily win the cup, but man, it may get to the conference finals or something like that.
Sure.
That's now we want that because we're so used to it. We're spoiled for so long, and now we want it back. And I think we're on the right path. A big
reason too. I think they went and got Tavo because he's the only player on this roster that can directly cite being in Chicago during those runs. What better way to teach this current state of the roster how to, be a winner and what that's like? All you got to do is talk to Tavo because he can tell you what 2015 was like in this city and how crazy and chaotic it was when the Blackhawks won their third cup in 6 years. And he was around. He wasn't actively playing necessarily, but he was around during the 13 Cup. He was in the organization. He saw the hype. And, as a 2012 draft pick, he's the perfect guy that now Connor Bedard and all these guys can look to and be like, tell me stories. What was it like in this city when this team was winning championships? Because then once you have that engraved in your brain, that's something that you as a player then want to strive for.
But not only that, and guys, we're joined by Ron Luce from the On Tap Sportsnet talking Blackhawks hockey here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. But not only that, I think here's another thing is that 15 season was different. 14-15 season was different because they should have won 14 as well. That deflection off of Nick Leddy's jersey in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. All right. They would have gone and they would have destroyed New York as well. And now you're looking at a serious freaking dynasty. Now you're in there like, holy cow, that's 4 in 6 years. Now we're in the Edmonton category back in the 80s. Okay. Sure. And they came into that season, it seemed like, with a sense of purpose. I know you'd won 1 in 10 and 1 in 13, but they were on a mission because I feel they thought they knew they should have won that game 7 and gone on and won the cup in 14. They came really, 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 really focused, more so I think than ever because I think it kind of just like pissed, like you left it on the table. That's some shit you left on the table, and that's not going to happen to us again. And they came in and they really dominated. And I think that type of mentality, if they can have that sense of urgency or determination that 15 team had, all right, wow, this team is going to have long playoff runs very, very, very soon.
Yeah, that 15 team was definitely the most unique, in my opinion, of the three, because you look at 2010, it was this young upcoming team that was dominant that ended up going on and winning the cup. Sure, they weren't the 1 seed in the West, but they were the 2 seed in the West. In 2013, they win the President's Trophy, right? They're the best record in the league, shortened season, but they go on a run and they win it again. The 15 team, I think, was the first time that we saw them flex their muscles as a playoff performing team, because a lot of people forget that was under the new structure that we're used to and accustomed to now in NHL playoffs, where it was the top 3 in every division make the postseason with 2 wildcard teams. the Hawks were the number 3 team in the division that year because St. Louis had that huge run that year. You know, there was a lot of other really good teams in the Central that year. And a lot of people forget, like the Hawks kind of limped into the playoffs that year. You know, no Kane down the stretch because of the injury. That's what allowed them to go get Antoine Vermette and Kimo Timonen at the deadline. And then they got to the playoffs, and that's when they really put their foot on the gas. That was the first time that they really flexed their muscles as a veteran team in the postseason. I think that's why that cup was so cool.
Yeah, it was. Goaltending. Talk to me about that situation because we're starting to build. You know, we're getting wingers, we're getting forwards, and got the defenseman, our number one overall pick. But what about the goaltending situation? Are you happy with it? I mean, who is the youngsters that you want to see get more time? Talk to me about that situation going into this season.
I like how they have the goaltending set up for this season. I really do, because right now you sit here and you look back at it and you say, well, Arvid Soderblom just couldn't get better because teams knew how to attack him at the NHL level. And that is the big difference, especially for goalies, between the NHL and the AHL, is teams know your weaknesses and they're going to exploit them at the NHL level. So being able to pretty much tell Arvid Soderblom, hey, go back to Rockford and work on your craft again with Drew Comesso, and you guys are kind of the two-headed monster down there in Rockford for most of the season, assuming nobody gets hurt at the NHL level or even nobody gets hurt at the AHL level. That's going to be a good tandem for the Rockford Ice Hogs to continue developing. It's also going to be a good tandem for the Rockford Ice Hogs to be competitive in the AHL, because when you have competitive AHL teams, we saw this with the Washington Capitals for the last decade plus when the Hershey Bears have been so good. It's because they're able to take those guys at the AHL level, teach them how to win, and then get to the NHL level and know how to win. So I think that's something that they want to do this year with Rockford as well. At the NHL level, I mean, we all knew it was going to be another 2 years of Peter Mrazek. He earned that extension. There was a lot of games where he kept the Hawks in it. They should have not been in it last season. So he had a really good campaign. It wasn't great, but it was good. And I really like the addition of Laurent Brossoit. I think Brossoit is, he was one of these like highly touted goalie prospects early in his career with Edmonton. And a lot of people had hyped him up. And he never quite worked out with Edmonton. Those were also the really bad days in Edmonton as well. He kind of moves on and becomes a little bit of a journeyman. He goes to Vegas. He wins a cup at Vegas as a part of that run for 2 seasons. Last year, he's in Winnipeg as Connor Hellebuck's backup and has a really good year, .927 save percentage, a 2 goals against average. I mean, he was really, really spectacular. 22 starts, he was 15-5-2. I mean, that's really hard to do as a backup goalie. I think he's excited about the opportunity to truly be kind of a 1A, because I think you're really going to see almost a dead even split of those two at the NHL level this year. I expect them to both play about somewhere between 35 and 42 games. One of them might get the slight nod over another, depending on who's playing better. But I think it's a good opportunity for Brossoit this is the most money he's going to make in his career as well, making $3.33 for the next 2 years. I really like the move. I think he was kind of a sneaky goalie addition. It was kind of a weak goalie market this year, just not a lot of guys available. And you heard at the draft that they reportedly were talking about taking a goaltender in the 3rd round. They opted and said, no, we're going to stay with forward, and we're going to look to the 2025 class, because next year's class is considered a really strong crop of goalies. So I fully expect them to take a goalie next year. From an NHL soon-to-be ready perspective, Drew Comesso is probably the next name up that people are going to be chomping at the bit to see. And then eventually after him, it's going to be Adam Guyon, who I think Guyon might be the best goalie prospect they have in their system right now. He's currently at the USHL level. He'll be going to NCAA next year. I believe it's with Minnesota Duluth is where he'll be playing. So they're stockpiling the system, but right now at the NHL level, it's going to be a couple of veterans just trying to backstop their way to, making this team a little more competitive than they were a year ago.
What does Coach Richardson have to do this year to take this team to another level? You got a lot of young talent. You're bringing back some guys, but a lot of the young talent now they're still young, but they're not rookies, and you know what I mean? So now they have some experience. What does Luke Richardson have to do with these guys to get them to play better, be more consistent? Because he's got a lot more talent. We just drafted a few more guys. Some may play, some may not, but nonetheless, it's a new year. You're expecting this team to be on an upward trajectory. And what role do you see Coach Richardson having in this upward swing?
I think you heard it very subtly through, I'll call it between the lines last year, of him being frustrated with the lack of veteran presence on this roster. Because let's be honest, outside of Nick Foligno, Jason Dickinson and, for the 15 games of Corey Perry, they really didn't have a lot of veterans, right? It was Seth Jones, it was Connor Murphy, and even Seth Jones and Connor Murphy are veterans, but they necessarily haven't been around that long. It was a really painful young team. And I think that this is actually ironically just something we talked about on our Four Feathers podcast that we just did the other night, is Luke Richardson had this team humming in year one of his coaching tenure. But that's also because it was a much older team. There was a lot more veterans, right? They were selling off guys like Domi and Kane and things like that, but it was still an older group that could help establish the expectation and the culture. And they lost that in year two, and you saw it subsequently affect their play on the ice. Now this year, and everybody's like, well, Kyle Davidson didn't really make this team better and accelerate the rebuild. No, but he's helping accelerate the culture of the rebuild. And that's what this year is about. And that's why you go out and get energy players like Tyler Bertuzzi. You go get a guy who knows what it's like to win in Chicago and played with Taves and Kane and Hossa and Seabrook and Keith and Teuvo Teravainen. You go out and get a Craig Smith who's been around the NHL forever. Pat Maroon, who's a 3-time Stanley Cup winner. Alec Martinez, who's a 3-time Stanley Cup winner. You go out and get those guys so that way this year they play the most like Luke Richardson's system is meant to be played in his tenure. And quite frankly, it's a big year for Luke Richardson because he needs to start showing that, hey, we're giving you a little more talent now. There needs to just be some improvement. It doesn't need to be playoff or bust, but you need to show that this team is improving in the right direction. And I think the additions they got are guys that play, I call it the balls to the walls mentality. That's how they want this team to play. And you see it in the way they're drafting too. They're drafting speed. And that's exactly what Luke Richardson wants out of this group. So I think the veterans being here is going to help reestablish that level of compete that they had in year one of Luke Richardson's tenure. And I think because of that, you're going to see a much more disciplined hockey club this year, a much more fun to watch hockey club this year, and ultimately a team that is truly going to take that next step. I think this is a team that at the end of the season is probably about 7 to 10 points out of a playoff position, which I know that doesn't sound great, but compared to the last 2 years, that's a huge improvement over what they were, being a bottom feeder the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to Bedard's second year. All right, I want to see, because if you caught some of the interview with Jason prior to you, we were talking about how Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso, like they didn't have an offseason, right? They went right from the Final Four, and 2 weeks later was the draft. 2 weeks later was mini camp, training camp. To then their preseason. You know what I mean? So they have no offseason. All right, when you go from, but here now I want to see Connor Bedard. I want to see him. I don't expect it to be 210 pounds, no, but I get have a little more strength. All right, be able to hold some people off a little while he's skating. I want to see a lot of these youngsters just get stronger because we saw it with Kane. Kane was a little wiry dude when he came in, fast as hell, but again, if he got caught, and remember the Kings used to catch him, and the Kings were big guys who could skate fast, all right? But he put on weight, and that's why I want to see how his sophomore season in the NHL, because gained some confidence, again, I'm sure he's going to be wearing the C this year. If not, it should be this year, but if not, it'll probably be next year. But I think I just want to see how he plays with some added strength, some added confidence, and some added talent around him. Because this dude, I mean, it's watching this guy for last year. This dude is truly, truly, truly a special young man.
Yeah, I think this is the year you're going to see that. I mean, the fact that as a 16 or as an 18-year-old and that's the thing a lot of people will say, and I've seen a couple of arguments of that. It's like, well, Kane put up 72 points as a rookie. And it's like, do you understand that the team that Kane and Taves were on as rookies was much more talented than last year's Blackhawks team? Like Robert Lang and some of those guys, Marty Havlat, like those were good hockey players on that team. They had an okay team. They almost messed around and made the playoffs that year. I distinctly remember the run down the stretch, them missing. I think they ended up missing by 3 points of the last playoff position. They almost got there. And everybody was like, oh, this team's going to be fun next year. And lo and behold, what did they do? They went to the conference finals against Detroit, ultimately lost, and then win Stanley Cup in year 3. I think seeing what Bedard did pretty much single-handedly for a large part of last season, putting up 61 in 68 games, leading all rookies in points, and leading your team in goals and in assists. I mean, he was your best offensive producer next to no help for 95% of the season. I think year 2 is going to be crazy because now that the bottom 6 is better built out, that's only going to benefit the top 6 because now you can't just put your best matchups on the road against Bedard every single time. You still can, but now there's other guys that can threaten and make plays. That's going to hurt you potentially if you're not careful. So I think Connor Bedard's going to thrive in year 2. I really do. I think we see at least 35 goals this year, maybe another 40 to 45 assists. I think an 80 to 90 point season out of Connor Bedard's not unrealistic in year 2.
Man, that would be awesome. And like I said, I'm excited to watch him. Like I was excited to watch Kane and Taze. All right, there's another 18, 19-year-old duo who we literally saw them grow up before our eyes. And we're doing the same thing here with Connor Bedard. And he's such a nice young man, and he's just so humble, unbelievably talented. You're like, dude, you could be a little more cocky or confident, and he's just so humble. And I think that's why everyone loves him, because he's just, so humble with this unbelievable talent that he's carrying around that really just literally, he's one of those guys, like when he gets the puck, like when there's a guy in baseball, right? Like when Shohei Ohtani goes to bat, you stop what you're doing. I got to go to the bathroom. Oh, no, he's up. Hold on, I'll wait. All right, he's one of those guys when the puck's in the offensive zone and he's got it and he's moving around, like you don't go anywhere. And he's one of those. He's in that category, and he's only 19, maybe 20. Man, this kid is all.
I don't know if he's even turned 19 yet. I think he still has a couple weeks until he turns 19.
Dude, that'd be nuts.
I think he's an August or a September birthday. I think he's a late birthday. I could be totally wrong. I could be messing this up, but I think he's still 18.
He is July 17th. July 17th.
Isn't that crazy? He hasn't even turned 19 yet, and I mean he's already got a Calder. He's the youngest Blackhawk to win the Calder because of his birthday being so late. He takes home the trophy as an 18-year-old.
Dude, that's awesome. Ron, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it as always. But do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, you can follow me. I am at Loose on Tap on the socials. Be sure to follow the Four Feathers podcast if you're craving more Blackhawks content. But you can also find us at ontapsportsnet.com. Tons of writing all about each draft pick. I'm going to be doing a ton of analysis pretty much now over the course of July, both from a free agent signing standpoint. Pardon me, try saying that 10 times fast today, and as well as the draft picks as well. I'll be honest with you, I've been watching a lot of film on Sasha Boisvert. And I'm starting to like that kid at the number 18 pick. I'm starting to eat my own words about not being happy about the overall selection. So be sure to check all that out on ontapsportsnet.com. And quickly, Brian Hendren, I believe I am technically related to Bob Luce, according to my father. He's like a second cousin on my dad's side. That's a question I get very often.
Remember, I asked you that question.
If there's any relation. There supposedly is a relation. Not that I'm not really like connected with him or anything of that nature or knowing that side of the family, but there is he is supposedly a cousin. So yeah. It's a distant relative, but now as always, Shawn, I appreciate you. It's fun to talk Blackhawks hockey. Anytime you need this offseason, we didn't even get to everything today. So
definitely not.
You need to talk more Hawks. You let me know and I'd be happy.
Definitely. What do you got going for the holiday?
I'm pumped. I'm off today. I took today off and then off the rest of the week. I'm playing a little golf today because now that I have a new background behind me, I don't get to play golf as much anymore. On the 4th, really, really excited about this. A big shout out to my buddy Brendan Duval. He served in the Marines, did a couple tours, saw combat, lived in Arizona for like the last 5 or 6 years. He's home officially as of today for good.
For good? Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's moved back. He's hanging back here now, and there's no more, I can only see him once or twice a week, when he visits once a year. It's gonna be cool. So get to see him and my buddy Aiden on Thursday, among other people, and then Friday we do an annual golf outing every year. Me and a bunch of buddies, we just book a bunch of tee times. We got 4 tee times this year, so a lot of golf, hopefully a lot of hot dogs, and a couple tree cold ones as well, man.
I was gonna say probably a couple beers.
That's the goal. I don't mess with fireworks. I let everybody else blow those off because knowing me, I'd blow my hand off. So I don't even mess with them. I just watch them from afar.
Yeah, JPP taught me well.
Yeah, I don't touch them. You want to blow your hand off? Be my guest. I'll sit back and watch it happen.
I got the gauze for you to wrap your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. I got the first aid kit on deck. But now, hopefully, you have a good one as well, Shawn. Enjoy the holiday and stay safe and have a great one, man.
Likewise, man. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Ron.
Sounds great. Take care, Shawn.
All righty, guys. That's Ron Luce from the On Tap Sports Net talking a little Blackhawks hockey with your boy. Good stuff. Listen, let's take a quick break and wrap this thing up, baby. Wrap it up. We'll talk a little Bears. Oh, wow. Bears. Talking Bears. On the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
The catch. Here's Trey Turner. Chop towards third. Morrell off balance. Strong throw. Nice pick. Wisniewski. And a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Hayden his first punch out.
Middle one. Cody Bellinger with Horner at first and 2 away. Philadelphia with a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. High drive. Deep right center field. This will one hop off the netting in right center, around third. Coming home is Nico Horner. He's going to score without a throw. RBI double, Cody Bellinger, and the Cubs are on the board. It's now 3-1 Philadelphia.
Line drive bullet to gap.
On the slider, one away. Line to center, coming in Crow Armstrong. He slides and makes the catch about hip high.
That's worthy of an exclamation point. Nice play. Sinking line drive. PCA gets a great jump and a fine sliding.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. The video courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those were the Cubbies yesterday. Tough loss at the friendly confines of the Phillies, without Schwarber, without Bryce Harper. So, tough one. Now, if only PCA could hit the ball. He's got phenomenal defense and great speed. He's got to hit that ball. It's kind of why you're in the bigs, but I digress. I'm excited. First, before we even get to it, let's do this real quick. I want to talk a little Bulls for a hot second before we talk my So here's what the Bulls did. Jalen Smith, 3 years, $27 million deal, going younger, 25 years old. All right, that kind of signals the end of Vooch. You know, they're going to try and move. I believe they're going to try and move Vooch. They're already trying to move Zach LaVine. That's been unfruitful. Their attempts have been unsuccessful in moving him. So it looks like he's going to have to play a little bit of the season, and maybe someone will trade for him at the trade deadline. Vooch, you know, if you're serious about this, you're serious about that. If you're serious about this young youth movement, then I think Jalen Smith needs to start. All right, I think he needs to start. And I know Vooch is making a lot of money, a heck of a lot more money. But Vooch, if you cannot get rid of him, Vooch has value. You put Vooch on a second unit and just say, go ham. You don't got to worry about defense as much. I need you to score. You get 20, 25 out of Vooch every night. Now you're going up against backup centers. You're going up against guys, and if the starting center's out, the backup's got to be in a starting lineup, and now he's got a 10-day contract kind of guy who's guarding him. Vooch can be extremely, extremely, extremely effective. So it's not, you want to trade Vooch, but if you can't, I'm more than okay with keeping. More than okay. You know? Yeah, Cornelius. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You know, it's DeMar's probably gonna walk, but they're going in a youth movement, which they should have done years ago. Okay, they should have done years ago. I don't know, King. To me, with the whole thing with Patrick Williams, everything's in his head. That's the problem I have. You know, maybe you're right, because we've seen him take over games. We've seen him when DeMar is out and Zach was out. We've seen him take over games in Summer League. We've seen him take over games in the regular preseason. We've seen him take over games in the regular season. You're like, this is what I need from you on a consistent basis. He doesn't give it to us consistently. He doesn't give us that effort consistently. We see the flashes, and we're like, damn, dude, what are you doing? Dude, your boy Scotty Barnes just got a crazy deal. Crazy deal. Oh, my God, I guess you got a crazy deal, too. I guess, you got a crazy deal, too. You got 5 years, 90. Is that what it is? 5 years, 90? Yeah. 5 years, 90 mil. Now what your boy Scotty Barnes got a much bigger deal than that, but whatever. Do you think they're gun shy a little bit? You think they brought Patrick Williams back because you saw when they got rid of Lowry, Markkanen, and what a stud he is now? I think that may have something to do with them re-signing him. I think that they just don't want to give up on him because, remember, he's a one and done. So, 4 years, 23 years old, 22 years old. Like, he hasn't even started to hit his prime yet. Not even started. by the time he gets out of this $90 million contract, he will be entering his prime. He will be entering his prime once he comes out of this contract. You know, you traded, you got a new point guard. Could signal the end of Lonzo Ball. All right, you're probably going to let DeMar walk. You sign a young center. Trade out Caruso. Yeah, the youth movement is in full swing. So, you know, a lot of veterans are probably jumping ship. Say, hey, I see I get off at this stop. You guys are going express. It's not my speed. But anyway. I'm excited. Bears football. Our rookies return to mini camp soon, and we'll be back. We got a couple weeks. I think it was the 24th, 25th. The dates for everybody's there, and I'm excited. I think we're all excited. You know, we got a lot as a fan base. We got to lick our wounds. It was a pretty vicious battle that we had. It was a little civil war with people. You know, it's amazing that people was getting that, but the Bulls were caught between a rock and a hard place. Same thing would happen with Zach. You want to let him walk, or do you got to give him the max? And they gave him the max. So yeah, so P. Will, you know what? I'll tell you what, very fortunate, because I don't think he did anything to deserve that 90 mil, anything at all. But that's the cost. That's the cost of doing business now in the NBA. We need it. Off the dub. I do. We're a much younger team. We got to get out and run. We got to get out and run. All right, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have youth. You know the old saying, youth is wasted on the young. You have athleticism. Let's get out and run. Hell, Kobe White's only, 24, 25? It's crazy. He seems like he's been in the league for years. You still have a lot of young players. You still have a lot of youthful players. And Kobe White's not even in his prime yet. He's about to enter his prime. So I agree with you off the dub. We need to run. Run. Yes, very athletic. Michelle, we might have to eat some of his contract too. We might have to eat some of that bad boy. I'm okay with that. At least for the first year. After that, no, homie, you got to foot the bill on this one. But back to the Bears. I'm excited, man. You know, Hall of Fame game coming up. That's going to be dope. I still haven't decided if I'm going to be able to make it or not. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun. All right, it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of people, and I know my stance is also a little bit. I'll be a little more lenient with Caleb. Okay. Part of it was I was just annoyed with the Caleb cult. You know, I'm gonna be a little more patient with him, but he's got to show up. You know, he's gonna make mistakes, but he's insulated. They brought in so many guys, so many weapons for this guy. He'll have his leash won't be as long, but it's not going to be short either. If Caleb scores on the first drive in the Hall of Fame game, do we sit him? No. I still say he plays the whole first quarter. I would say the first half, but you guys think I'm crazy. And I say the first half because of this. You get granted an extra game because a couple of Bears are going into the Hall of Fame. Mongo's one of them, Devin Hester, Julius Peppers before he defected and went to Green Bay and incest kissing cousin country. So you have an extra game and you're playing against someone different. All right, you're not going to be playing against the same guys. You're not going to know the tendencies of the guy across from you like you do at the end of camp, or by the middle of camp. Okay, now it's live. These are real bullets. I understand you're saying it's preseason. It doesn't matter. You got guys who are trying to win jobs. There's still a competitive nature because the only way you can play football is 100%. That's the only way you can truly play football. So Caleb needs reps. And if they're giving you another game in this Hall of Fame game, you best use it. You best use it for reps. Like I said, I'd say the whole first half. People are going to think I'm crazy. But just because he plays the whole first half doesn't mean that he's going to be dropping back and throwing the ball all the time. There's a lot of things you can work on. You can work on cadence, work on the run game, work on the play action game, work on the straight drop back. So many different things you can work on. This offense needs to get in sync and fast. The first 9 weeks, they got to come out 7-2, at the worst 6-3, at the worst. So how are they going to gain chemistry? Only way you gain chemistry is by playing games. Preseason or not, playing games, not practice. And I think we have it in a squad. This team coming over this year as well. Anyway, you need reps. You need real reps. So I say first half. But most people are going to say no, one series. It's not going to get it done. Not going to get it done, in my opinion. All right. So off the dub, yeah, no more. Keep him in. Even if they go down and score the first drive, keep him in. Because you want to see what he does when he doesn't score. He's shown he's a leader. He's shown he's a leader. So let him lead. Say, hey, listen, you know what? That drive went bad. Couldn't get a score. Went out, turnover, run down, pick, fumble, whatever. How does he lead at that point? Do they follow him at that point? These are all things that you have to figure out. You got to figure out. Position battles are going to be crazy. A lot of position battles. All right. I think the offensive line is set. I think Bates is going to be the starting center. Nate Davis and Tevin, the starting guards. Wright and Jones, the tackles. Everyone else. And we were talking about it on Nomad yesterday. Without Ben Davis being at camp or participating, he was at OTAs. He was there, but so my question is is he motivated? Have they talked to him and said, I need you out there? Or is he going through another family situation? It's not out of the realm of possibility that his cousin is sick or his brother is sick or his you know what I mean? We hope that's not the case, but sometimes life doesn't work out the way we want it. I think we can all agree on that one. But I want to see him out there, and I get it. We were talking with yesterday. I know, man, he didn't have to be out, voluntary. He didn't have to be there, so he wasn't. He was at mandatory, but he didn't participate. But for me, I need to see him participate because I want to know as a teammate that he's there, that he's 10 toes down for us. I need to know that. Because don't come at me, you're a great guard, but I don't have a full commitment from you. If I don't have a full commitment, man, I don't want him out there. Because I don't know what I'm going to get. Are you feeling good Are you feeling good this rep? So I'm going to get everything we got? Or what you know what I mean? How inconsistent are you? It just shows a good faith is what I would have loved to have seen. A show of good faith and say, hey, listen, I'm here. I know last year was an anomaly. All right. I'm down. That's all I want. That is all I want. Couldn't do that. He chose not to do that. And they talked about when no one's complaining. Maybe Coach Eberflus said, hey, we don't talk about people who are not here. All right, don't bring that up in sessions. The media is going to try and bring it out of you. Okay? Don't bring it up. If they do, just say, no, it's fine. Coaches are cool with it. We're cool with it. Believe me, I think they're being coached. Because I know some people are probably not happy. Unless, again, unless there's a family situation again, then no, of course. But they're not going to tell us now. All right, they're not telling us. But Nate's got to do, barring a family situation again, Nate's got to show out. Because I am adamant about moving Tevin over to the right side and Nate to the left side. If Nate, you can't do it, or you're still lackadaisical, guess what? You can be replaced. Listen, 2 hours is coming and gone. I want to thank my guests, Jason Palmer, for coming in, joining, and talking Sky basketball with me. And I also want to thank Ron Luce from the On Tap Sports Net for coming in, talking Blackhawks hockey with your boy. Guys, it's Hump Day. It's July 3rd. If you celebrate the 4th, there'll be a lot of people blowing off fireworks tonight. Be safe. I'm heading down to the lake. With a few of my cousins, we're going on a boat. Catch the fireworks downtown. So I'll be downtown tonight with family. And remember, I told you, make sure you spend time with family and friends and loved ones over the holidays and continue to make memories, because at one point, that's all you're going to have. Take pictures. Don't worry about it. If mandatory camp starts and he ain't practicing, I'm done talking about it. I am too. You know what, King Booker World? Bump him. Bump him. You're damn right. Bump him. All right, Tevin, right side. And Cortland, you're a left guard, period. End of story. Ain't got time for these damn games. Yeah, eat some barbecue off the dub. Yeah. Actually, I'll do that Saturday at my cousin's graduation party. But yeah, I want to thank Jason for coming on. I want to thank Ron Luce for coming on. And I want to make and hope you guys, if you celebrate the 4th, hope you have a happy and safe 4th of July. As I always say, make sure you make memories with your family, friends, and loved ones. We don't know when we're going to be gone. We don't know how many more holidays we have with them. Okay, so make the most of every time. Family with cousins, which is pretty cool. I'm right in the middle. Like I'm in the middle of like my younger cousins and my older cousins. There's only like 2 of us or 3 of us in a 1 or 2 year age group. Me and Chuck, I think. Me and Chuck's a year younger than me. And everyone else is 4 years older, or at least 4 years older or 4 years younger. All right, so I'm kind of like the glue. I get to hang with both people. So I'm going to be hanging with my older cousins this week, weekend. So it'll be good. I'm going to enjoy it. Just, again, make memories. So you do the same. So, guys, you have a very, very safe holiday. Off the dub, get some barbecue if you can. All right, just enjoy it. I can't stress that enough. Enjoy it. Continue to make memories. All right, we can talk about it for days and years to come. And just spend time, because man, it moves fast. All right, so for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guy, and my co-host, Adam Sencha Maya. Guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. This will replay tonight at 6. All right, guys, have a great day. Friday, it'll be another rerun, and I'll be back next Wednesday live. I'll be back next Tuesday at 3 p.m. with Nomad, all right, with our daily Bears talk. And I'll let you guys know. You guys asked if I'm going to be up at Hallis Hall. We're going to see if I can get credentials. Have my guy reach out to the Bears and see if I can go and cover a camp. And again, if I am, it may alter my Wednesday show. So just so you know. But All right, folks, I am getting out of here. I got to go pick up the warden. She is in her CrossFit class. I got to go pick her up. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Have a wonderful day. It's going to be warm out there. Get to a pool. All your people who got pools, hit them up. Hit them up. All right, I'm out of here. Have a great day. Sports owners, I love you, and I appreciate the love and the support. It means a lot to me. All right? Your boy, the Superback, I am